Okay, if you haven't spotted the error, let's go to February. When I said yesterday you started off with a carryover amount of $1,000, we noticed that our total expenses was $1,850 for this set. Now, for the difference, I presumed that we got paid an additional $1,000 on the first of the month, and that's an incorrect assumption, because when we replicated these worksheets over and over again, it's based on being paid $1,000 on the 1st, 15th, and 30th, which is incorrect. For semi-monthly, it's only the 15th and 30th. So what we have to do is go back, modify this first cell A17 to not include the income. And what we immediately see is a negative amount. That means that this first month, with only having $1,000 in the account and incurring these expenses, that means that you went over your budget. You're in the negative $850. So you are beholden to the banks, unless we just modify this amount. Hypothetically, let's just imagine now, for the sake of clarity here, that we had $2,000 in the bank. Let's modify that, and now you see that we're above 150. Now this is the actual budget that we have to replicate into the next months. So we'll just do it again. Control C, go to March, go up to that same corner, now hit Control V, go to April, do the same thing, Control V, we're just overwriting. Now go into March, modify this cell, equals sum, begin parentheses, go back to February, D17, select that, hit enter. You can see we're already over budget, so something needs to be modified in our behavior here. That's going to be hard to do, so we'll revisit that in a second. Go to April, same thing, equals sum, begin parentheses, go back to March, select D17, hit enter. So we're perpetually going in the negative, it appears. Something's got to happen then. So that means if we're living a life of only bringing in $1,000 on the 15th and the 30th, which you can see here, okay, for the carryover amount, it's adding this amount that was left over plus the $1,000. That's the carryover amount. Same thing here, it's adding what was left over from that third plus the carryover amount, and then this difference is simply this carryover amount minus the expenses for that third, and that's correctly set up, and it's correctly replicated now over the successive months. So now something's got to happen. Either you're already living a life that is beyond your means with just these three things, with only getting $2,000 per month. So that tells me that this person making only $2,000 a month is living beyond their means. So they can't possibly have a mortgage that's $1,200 or incur these kinds of costs for their vehicle. So let's just take this out and make it more realistic. Let's just say that they're maybe not fixing their vehicle, but just affording gas for the month, which is possibly something more like $100. Maybe more, maybe 120. So now we'll just do that. We'll go with that. We'll eliminate that cell. Go with 120. Eliminate that. Go with 120. So now they're all pretty much the same. And now you can see down here that it's no longer negative. and you are living within your means, and your income is rising. So that's good with the minor modification we've done to the budget. That's 2,080 in February, 2,160 in March, 2,240 in April. So it's a small adjustment, but you're still living within your means. So that's what you want to discover.